Search for a star. It's the riding horse and hack of the year. So this is the first section of the next few days as they look to qualify for the final on Sunday. I'm delighted to be able to welcome into the arena our three judges. And one unique factor, if you're new to the Horse of the Year show with the South Essex Insurance Brokers Search for a Star, is that not only do our judges look at the horses, they're also going to be making comments as well. So let's introduce them. Delighted that here with us is, first of all, Claire Oliver. She's going to be judging the ride, and you're going to be hearing from two very esteemed colleagues in the showing world. Delighted that with us here is Robert Oliver, and Robert's joined by Katie Jerram. And between the three people stood to my left at the moment, they have won more Horse of the Year show titles than it was able for me to add up. They are some of the most experienced names in the business, but the one key factor with the South Essex Insurance Brokers Search for a Star is it is open to amateurs. We're looking to find a new star, somebody that's not qualified for the Horse of the Year show before, or the Lottery One International Horse Show, and therefore this wonderful opportunity for those that want to have a go at showing. They go to the qualifiers all around the country, and from there they have an opportunity to qualify to come forward here to the Horse of the Year show. So this, we begin with the riding horse and hack of the year. When we get to the end of the class, we'll have both a winning riding horse and a winning hack, and we'll look forward to hearing from our judges as we go through the process. Well, a very good afternoon to all three of you. Katie, welcome back to the Horse of the Year show. Great to have you here.
Thank you, it's lovely to be here today.
Great, and Robert, welcome back as well. Many years you've been judging down the Search for a Star, and they wrote you in once again this year, but we found some real superstars over those years.
Yes, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to come and assess these lovely horses that have been previously selected from a vast number across the country. This is not the easiest of runs for us because this is a mixed class, which you'll have to bear in mind. It's riding horses and hacks.
Well, this Search for a Star very kindly sponsored by South Essex Insurance Brokers. In fact, they invented this class some 17 years ago, and it goes from strength to strength, with the qualifiers around the country continuing to grow in popularity. And it is the have a go at showing. You do not need any experience. You do not need to take in your horse in a show ring. They're very friendly qualifiers. The judges, Richard Ramsey, Son of Bartram, they take the riders through their paces, and of course they're looking for the best that come forward to qualify them for the Horse of the Year show. A very friendly and encouraging environment that really does help produce some brand new combinations that quite possibly can go on to the open world of showing. So, Katie and Robert, what are we going to be looking for here with the first class? Of course, this is the riding horse hacks.
Okay, I'll talk about the hack, and Robert will talk about the riding horse. To me, a hack has to have good manners, elegance, presence, and a super way of going. Also, it has to be able to carry the judge beautifully, and to be able to go out and give an individual show absolutely good manners to die for. We look like we've got 4 nice hacks here today. This one going past us is stepping really well. It's really nice to see that they can let go and use their shoulder really nicely. But the same as in any show horse, has to be able to move, has to be able to walk, trot and canter through its pace as well.
The riding horse, ladies and gentlemen, is a stronger version. It's almost between your hack and a lightweight hunter. As we get closer to these and they come for their confirmation, we'll explain just the intricacies of the difference of them. A hack is very elegant, as we've been told. The riding horse can be slightly stronger, can be a stronger ride, and an individual that would be a pleasure to ride. Last shaking.
Well, as you can see, our judges getting an initial impression. In fact, as Katie was talking about the hacks there, it reminds me, she did finish 3rd this morning in the large hack, so congratulations this morning to Katie.
It's a very close line between a riding horse and a hack. The hacks are usually more thoroughbred, whereas the elk can be more hunter type. They come in the height categories too, which you must remember. I'll go in the old measurements. The small hack is 15 hands, the large hack is up to 15.3. Having said that, your riding horses are 15.2 for the small class and an open height for the large. Just remember that all these horses are novices, the rider, the connections, and everything to do with them must not be to the Royal International or the Horse of the Year show before.
Well, looking at the riding horses and hacks, in fact, if we look back a few years in the Search for a Star, 4 winners have gone on, in fact, from this class to take overall titles of the Horse of the Year show. The likes of Helen Hurricane and almost an eagle in 2004 and 2006, and they started their careers in this very competition. Well, as you can see, we're going to bring them into line, and from that point, Claire's going to take on the ride of each of those that are with us. Meanwhile, of course, our judges will be having a little look at the confirmation. Well, at the moment, what we're going to do is we're going to split them to hacks and to riding horses.
You'll see, ladies and gentlemen, the hacks have worn their black jackets and the riding horses are tweed. That's the preferential way of showing them. Obviously, for a final or a championship or an evening performance, they would then wear their black coats and top hats and get very smart.
So, as you can see, I think Claire's going to begin with the ride on our riding horses. Meanwhile, Katie and Robert, I think, are going to begin with a confirmation on the hacks. And they're going to have a chat with us, of course, about what they're looking for. But as we said, this is an amateur competition. But the one thing that I notice every single year to the both of you, that the quality of the turnout is just phenomenal. The work that seems to have gone in to these horses to come forward.
I think that it's come on year after year, and it goes down to the help that they have, and the backing through SEIB, and all the people that have done an absolutely fantastic job. They're now as professional as we are, which is great to see.
Well, just to let you know who's coming out first, this is number 995. The first of the hacks forward is Royden Sweet William, ridden by Kim Cox, and they qualified at Berry Farm Equestrian Village.
Katie and I have been looking at their confirmation. You're looking for as clean a limb with no lumps, bumps or scrapes, particularly in a hack. A hack must be extremely clean right through its joints, its tendons and the outlook. This is a really smart little brown gelding here. Obviously a thoroughbred. Nice clean limbs.
Beautifully bridled up and saddled up. You'll notice this one has a white girth. A lot of our hacks that we do show in white girths, it just splits it through the middle, and I particularly like them actually showing my hacks in the white girth. Some people obviously don't, but I just think it just breaks the picture through and it gives an elegant outline. It is beautifully saddled up. Maybe I would have done a slightly smaller number to give the horse a little bit of a bigger shoulder. Apart from that, the horse is absolutely immaculately turned out. Nice length of tail.
Meanwhile, Claire's assessing the riding horses. The judge will be looking for a smooth, uncomplicated ride. A horse that walks away, trots when asked to, strikes off on the right leg. Generally a pleasant sort of animal that any member of the family would like to go for a ride on. We'll see this horse trot up.
Okay, this horse has only been shod in front, which is allowed to be with our Pax Colton Riding Horse Society. With With our hunters, we now actually insist on them being shot all the way around through worrying about them slipping and so that you can stud them up, but obviously with the hacks it wouldn't be a concern at all.
When they walk away, you're looking for straight, true action, neither too wide behind or too narrow in front. Come back to you in a nice, straight, level movement. Yeah, that's fine. Claire's on her riding horse. Struck off nicely, very nicely.
Well, and in front of the judges next is number 991. This is Ingleby Hill, ridden by Shelley Haywood, and they qualified at Lost Modeston Equestrian Centre. 991.
Right, another hack in front of us here. Beautifully turned out, as you can see. A few years ago, we had to have a lot of help with these people, but they're getting better and better. This class could almost be qualifying class. Rider beautifully turned out, everything in order. Saddle in the right place, nice clean limbs on this horse.
Very nice limbs on this horse. The one thing I would have done with this horse is made a little bit more of the marks on the bottom, just made the squares, fill it out a little bit more and just make the back end so it takes your eye to the whole picture and just finishes the picture off. It's got a great hind end, it's got a super length from the hip to the point of the bottom, it's well set tail, it's got a lovely hind end. Bring the marks to it to bring your eye further to it. It's got a great shoulder, its neck comes out really, really well, and it looks like it would be a super sit with a lovely length of rein.
Again, we were looking for the movement. It's nice to see what we call base narrow or base wide. We're looking for the in between. The one to avoid, obviously, is the horse that throws its front feet about, either dishing, turning them in, or turning them out. Yeah, that's fine.
Nice, and it's very nice and strong behind, which was nice to see when it went away and came back away from you at trot.
Well, number 997 comes out in front of our two judges now. This is a Timeless Girl, owned and ridden by Eleanor Askey Goldsborough, and they qualified at Lost Modeston Equestrian Centre. 997.
Those that are watching today, you'll notice that the riding horses actually are allowed to gallop, and in their own classes they would gallop them as a class. So if you're just wondering when she comes to the hacks that she doesn't gallop them, a hack is not expected to gallop. They're meant to be more mannerly and, if you like, better trained.
We move back to our hack here. She's a 12-year-old mare, a nice and deep again. I would have just pushed the saddle back slightly further. Being a mare, she's slightly longer with the rib cage, and I'd have just given her a slightly longer front. Just even that inch makes such a huge difference. And I'd ride her up a little bit thicker through the nose bands and picking up a bit on his head. It's just a little bit low on her face, and it's just making it just a little bit plain through there, and you can do a lot more with it, just lift it up an inch on the nose bands and then push the saddle back an inch, and the whole picture would be totally different.
Again, nice clean limbs, beautifully turned out, as you can see. Don't forget again, ladies and gentlemen, that these are all amateur people that have never qualified for international or the Horse of the Year show. They've been selected for this wonderful class sponsored by South Essex, as you know, to come here this afternoon. One of the aspects of judging that we do ask the horses to walk away, trot back, assess them in hand. The Horse of the Year show now is judged 50-50. That's 50 marks for confirmation, 50 marks for the ride.
So number 992 out next is Just Thomas, owned by Samantha Robinson, ridden by Cara Royland, and they qualify also at Boswell Leicester. 992.
Okay, we're looking here as a large hack. It's out of the four, but this is the only large hack here. When it came in, it was a nice walk, and it was a line-catching horse. It took you straight to it. It needs to build more top line up on it. Apart from that, it's pleasing enough. It just needs some time. He's a 6-year-old, so he has obviously got time on his side.
It's a 6-year-old, but slightly immature against 2 or 3 of the others that we've seen. But still a good model type. The ones that we've had have all been hack type. Do you want to agree, Katie? Yeah.
Yes.
We haven't had a riding horse among the hacks, so that's quite interesting.
It is. It's been nice to see every hack that's come out here. It's definitely, they're not in the wrong category. There are true hacks in front of us today, which is lovely to see. It's also really nice and pleasing for us to see today. All the riders turned out nice, jackets not too short, everything sort of looking good with them. The one thing that I would like to see on all the riders is spurs, whether it be dummy spurs or a slight spur. It is important in the horse classes to use a spur on your horse.
So now to the first of the riding horses. This is number 990, Champagne Perry. He's owned and ridden by Rebecca Clark, and they qualified at Hampton Hall. 990.
I do believe this horse was an ex-race horse as well. How many times did he run? He ran 4 times. He was out of training how long ago? Since he was 4.
The horse in front of us, as you can see, from our point of view anyway, he is a stronger animal, obviously, than the hacks. He's a proper, true riding horse type. You can see by him. He did give a good show going round. He actually took my eye going round in his class.
In all cases, he came in and he sort of stole the ring. He walked, trotted, cantered well. He was very pleasing. The rider rode the ring really, really well and showed him off to his full. He stands here in front of us. I can see why he moves so well, and he's going to be a great sit, I'm sure, for Claire. He's got a huge front and shoulder on him, so before you've done anything, you've actually got a very good mould of an animal in front of you.
He's got a very good shaped foreleg. That's short in his cannon, a nice amount of bone below his knee, a nice angle to his pasterns.
I think one thing that we can say about Mr. Gelding is, obviously he's been out of racing and training, he is going to build that more. You look at the fronts built up, he just needs to build that slight bit behind the saddle, and when that comes, it's going to be a beautiful pattern of a riding horse, and I'm sure we'll see him in the future. Great second thigh when you see him walk away, and very strong to his hind leg as well when he walks away.
Just see him trot back, and you hope he trots back as well as he looks. Yeah, that's fine. Could be stronger behind. Now we've got a nice brown gelding here.
Well, just to let you again know who's here, number 998 out in front of the judges is Michigan and Natalie Bird.
This is a very nice pattern standing in front of us. He's nice, very different to the other one. Doesn't stand over as much ground. He's nice, short, coupled, deep girth, not as big shoulder as the other horse, but he hasn't got as big a shoulder. He's got the leg of grade that will take it. When Claire got him, the one thing I said to Robert is, look at it, it's got a lovely, lovely big sat up front. Again, to give a super ride, which is really, really important, with a smashing second thigh and hind leg there.
Got to remember, as I say, there's 50 points for the confirmation, 50 points for the ride, so it'll be interesting when Kate and Claire get together to see what they think about their rhymes.
I would like a slightly saddles pushed back a little bit. The saddle's a little bit of piano drum for me on him. I'd like a slight bit of saddle just to fill him out through there, and the numbers taking away from him. So I think through that part of it, you can make him look better, maybe for next year. But apart from that, he's great. You've done a great job on him. He looks absolutely terrific.
You'll notice that we haven't removed saddles for this class because we are given a set time, and any of the judges that are here must remember, if you've given an hour for a class, you must judge it in an hour. It's no good running everybody late. So for this particular class, we do leave the saddles on, just to make things a little bit quicker. Claire would have probably a shorter ride than she would in a normal class.
This horse, when it first came in, he was quite tense and he didn't walk, and it's great to see him. You look at him now, and actually he has got a super walk, and he's sprung back, and he pushes. He's very positive with his hind end, and I like just, even watching him walk away there, you think he's very, very pleasing.
Well, number 999 is the next. And this then is Your Heartbreaker, owned and written by Victoria Rink, and they qualified at the Bellevue Equestrian Centre. Your Heartbreaker, $9.99.
Right, now we have to go with another horse, 999, so that's a good number for a start. And again, an exceptionally good foreleg. If you were judging, giving him marks for his foreleg, you'd have a 9 out of 10. Very good cannon bone, nice angle to his caster. And a nice little short back heel horse, rather attractive.
And he's only small, he's a big little horse. He looks, so when I asked the question, is he a large or is he a small? He is actually only a small. And so it's lovely to see he's nicely up to height, but he'd look good in the class.
It's very interesting too. He's got a lovely eye, lovely outlook. Probably, yes, really smart horse.
He's got a super set of feet as well on him. Good hard sound foot on him.
Just hoping he drops up as straight and as good a mover as he does stood still. I can't say I noticed him in his class, but we'll see.
He turns around and springs back towards you.
Yeah, very pleasant and gay, proper little show horse.
So joining us next is number 994. This then is Risky Business, owned and written by Lily Eddington. They qualified at Very Farm Equestrian Village, 994.
Again, you can just see the difference. The other horse had so much presence, and this horse, he doesn't look quite so happy as the other horse. But again, nice clean limbs. He's a large. Good front, nice hind leg. Now you're looking for a hind leg that's relatively straight, but not too straight, but certainly not hooky as we call, or bent hind leg. And they should, when you stand behind them, the hocks should be equal distance apart, not cow hock or sickle hock.
This is another thoroughbred. This one didn't race. He's a lovely, kind horse. Again, a nice shoulder on it, a super kind eye, and I'm sure that he'd be a great sit for Claire as well. You stand in front of him. He's got good width between the foreleg, which is nice to see. And he's again got a nice set of feet on him. He looks a very kind horse to own.
I just admire the lady's stick. It's the most beautiful showing cane. Very old-fashioned one, lovely one. She found it in the second-hand junk shops the other week. Very lucky. See him trot back.
Nice, very nice behind the game.
So our final horse out, the final riding horse, number 993 is the number. And this then is Hill Kylie, owned and ridden by Rachel Tucker. They qualified in science, 9.93.
This is a very nice mare. Again, beautifully turned out, looks very, very well for the day. Just push her back one stride so she can just, that's it.
Very good colour. This is a nice big brown mare. Old-fashioned type of horse, actually. I'll just ask its breeding. It's quite interesting to see. It's Irish bred, this mare, by a horse called Colin Diamond, which goes back to the famous film King of Diamonds line. Right.